All right. Well, welcome to the channel. Um, these things are always kind of weird because it's always hard to talk to a camera, right? Um, but starting a motovlogging channel is something I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've always had an interest in motorcycles. I've always had an interest in editing videos. I really enjoy it. I just do it on the side just for fun if I think of a good idea or something. So I figured, hey, why not combine the two? So I don't have any kind of goals. I don't have any kind of, overarching, I want to be a millionaire and driving a Lambo kind of thing with a YouTube channel. This also isn't going to be one of those channels where, I'm riding an S2K at 210 miles an hour down the road, splitting traffic for hype views. Don't want to die, but also don't want to, I'm just not that type of person. So, I know people typically talk about the name of their channel, like further on, they just kind of name it whatever, and then, so it took me a while to come up with a name, actually. So I settled with Throttle Thoughts, and the idea behind that is kind of like, a lot of people talk about wind therapy and, throttle therapy and stuff like that. So I kind of thought of it in the way of like, hey, let's use this as a verbal journal, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Let's talk about whatever, talk about some deep stuff, maybe talk about stuff that's going on. I don't know. We'll see where it kind of takes us. But in the last two videos, I talked about a few different things. I did like a mic test. I just was like goofing off with my brother, which you'll see him more often too. But essentially, I had talked about one thing, but I talked about how I wasn't riding a bike. That was mine. I was riding somebody else's, and how it kind of sucked a little bit because it's like, okay, I want to start motovlogging. I want to do all this stuff, but this isn't my bike. I was borrowing it. In fact, I still have it. One of me and my brother's mutual friends got a bike. Can't ride it for reasons, so we had it in our garage. We were fixing it up for him, and kind of hanging out, kind of stuff with it. Actually, you know what? Let me flip this bitch on my shirt. Can I do that? Does it stand? It's staying. So we were fixing this bike for him, and it was cool. It was really nice to have a bike to ride without having to own one. But it kind of got a little crappy because it's like, kind of had the realization of, okay, well, I'm gonna wake up one day and he's gonna be like, hey, I want my bike back, and then I'm SOL. So I talked about a couple bikes I like, a couple bikes I wanted. There were two in particular that are like dream bikes for me, because I used to ride 5 or 6 years ago, and I sold it for life reasons. Sold both my bikes for life reasons, and kind of found myself in a position again to where, like, why don't I have a bike? I still work 9 to 5 every day, or 7 to 5 every day. I have a lot of responsibilities. I don't really have an outlet, right? So I was like, why the hell don't I go get another bike? So here I am, trying to motovlog, riding bikes again, etc. And, were one, a Triumph Street Triple 765 RS. That way I could grow into a little bit better, like getting back on a bike. And one of the 765s too, because I kind of wanted all the rider aids, all the nanny stuff. It made me feel a little bit more comfortable with, getting back on a bike and all this kind of stuff. And I should mention, my last two bikes was a 1983 Yamaha Virago that I sort of kind of made into a cafe racer, and the other one was a Harley Iron 883 that I did like a chain swap and some other stuff too. It was pretty quick for what it was. It was a good first bike, but kind of outgrew it. Really sucked not having a highway gear because it's only got 5 gears on an iron, but whatever. So I wanted a bigger bike, something like a 765. They're sporty, they look really good. I like the nakeds more. Not a lot of people have them. Please don't pull this way. No. Oh my God. But anyway, I really wanted a 765 RS because the rider aids, plus I think they look really good. I know the headlights are kind of divisive, but I kind of I like little, you know, rider or the bug eyes. But that being said, my other one that I really liked was an XSR900. So I really liked them when they came out in 2016. I thought they looked cool. I really liked the MT09s. Ow! I really liked MT09s. I liked FZ09s. I rode a few and really liked how much power they had. I like kind of how they're hooligan-y. But I also wanted a bike where I could like chill and kind of dial it back a little bit. That's why I lean more towards the XSR. It's kind of like the older brother, right, for the hooligan bike. So given where I'm at in life, didn't really think I was gonna be able to afford one. If I'm gonna spend the money on one, I don't want to get one that's almost what I want. I'd rather just wait until I can get what I want. So I would look here and there, and I couldn't really find anything, and it was always kind of disappointing. But one day I was looking around, and well, ta-da! I am the proud owner of a 2024 Yamaha XSR900. And it's beautiful, and I love it so much. So the really cool stuff, there's a cool backstory on this bike, and I really lucked out. I kind of won the lottery with this bike, if I'm being honest. Complete with no tag. It's in perfect shape. It's literally a brand new bike. There's some stickers on it here and there. Someone has an aftermarket grill on it for the headlight. Aftermarket handlebars, aftermarket levers. Those are GSXR tank grips, but you know, whatever, that's not a big deal. I can peel them off, put some clear on, or just run it normal. But the story on this bike is, this bike, believe it or not, is totaled. Yep, you heard me right. This is a totaled motorcycle. It is completely salvage titled. The insurance on it, or the title, salvage, not even rebuilt, salvage. So, like I said, got an amazing deal on it. Here are the flaws, right? You've got, see if this shows up on camera. Yeah, this little dent right here, there's a little dent right there. There are some scratches right here, and that's it. That's it. I'm not even exaggerating. This isn't a rebuilt motor. This isn't a rebuilt frame. The frame is not bent. It's not cracked. Not rebuilt forks. Nothing. So the story on this bike is, I was randomly looking around one day again, and I just decided to get on Facebook Marketplace. I don't even have a Facebook, so I just was searching it on my computer, just Facebook Marketplace, without an account, and searched XSR900, searched cheapest, and you know, within like a 200-mile range from me, and lo and behold, this baby popped up. So it popped up for literally half the cost of what this would cost at a dealership, and or if it wasn't salvage, right? So I was like, all right, what's the catch? So I call the guy, and we're talking. So he goes on to explain to me that he worked in insurance for like 30 years, and he retired. So in that time, he's always been a bike rider, and he saw hundreds of bikes get totaled out for the smallest of things, and he hated it because he loves bikes, right? He felt like they were just getting thrown away, they're getting thrown to the side, and kind of his words were, it broke my heart to see one go, right? So he retired, and he decided that he was going to start buying these bikes back and fixing them. So he has bought hundreds of bikes. Well, I shouldn't say hundreds. He's bought a ton of bikes. He fixes them up and he resells them. He's fully transparent, fully open to before and after pictures, what he spent on it, how much he bought it for, the whole nine. So I go up there, I'm like, all right, worst case scenario, I get the cash out, I go up there, I talk to him, I get there, it's like some dude in a shed, you know, 3 kids wearing a trench coat, and the bike is a piece of shit, and I, you know, whatever, cool, I'll drive back home, I'll throw the money back in the bank, and then I'm good. So I get up there, this guy opens his garage, and he's got like his 4 bikes sitting right there in front, right? It's got the nice like textured, checkered floor. He's got benches all around the side with all of his tools laid out perfectly. Everything's very like perfect and pristine. And then here's this bike sitting in the middle. I'm like, okay, this dude looks like the real deal. So then I look to the right, and on the wall is a picture of every single bike with the year, the make, the model, where he bought it, when it sold, that kind of thing. He has a goal since he retired. His goal is to own 100 motorcycles. He said it was like, it's an arbitrary goal, it's a weird thing, it seems impossible, and that's why he wants to do it. And so he said that this was bike 89. So yeah, we hopped on it, a test ride with him. He went and rode with me. He took me on this nice little like 20-minute loop that he does with all the bikes, where he can test them out. I had straights, turns, all that kind of stuff. And here we are. I bought it. But really cool experience overall. And to be honest, I still a little shocked about it, because it seems so completely far-fetched that someone that it would end up this way, right? So yeah, I have one of my dream bikes, and yeah, so next challenge is to get it registered. And the state I live in, there is quite a list of things I have to do to get this thing registered here, because it's a salvage title from out of state. So I have to bring receipts, before and after pictures, all this stuff, which he provided. This dude even made a spreadsheet for this bike specifically with sprocket sizes, chain length, color, VIN number, what kind of oil it uses, what kind of filter he put on it, like typed out, not written, typed out. So very impressed. And I gotta go get it inspected. Fingers crossed they pass it. I mean, it looks like they're gonna probably laugh when I bring this thing in there, right? But go get it inspected. Then I had to go to the DMV and do all the other fun crap. So yeah, amazing bike. Still has a stock exhaust on it, so it does sound like a leaf blower, but we're gonna change that soon. That being said, let's go ride. So y'all will have to forgive me just a little bit if I'm out of breath. I was just kind of walking around a ton, and it's kind of hot out here still. I just forget how pretty it is out here. All right. Also, y'all forgive me if I sound super, super breathy, because I'm trying to figure out the best audio for this. Still kind of working on all those details. This is a new camera, new mic setup, all that kind of stuff. So I'm new to it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing. And it also has, totally forgot to mention this part, 4,012 miles. And it only has 4,012 miles because I put about 500 on it in the last 2 days. Oh yeah, exhaust sound check. Not the most impressive thing on earth, but it's all right. Again, I came from a Harley, right? So the style. And I've always kind of been a Yamaha fanboy at heart. I grew up riding Yamaha dirt bikes, and I don't know, Yamaha's just always been a cool brand. I'm an import fan too, Japanese import when it comes to cars. Like an RX-7 is like also a dream car, but you know, I'm not alone with that, I guess. We're gonna take some back roads gonna do a little U-turn here. Also, the quick shifter is just so sweet. Yeah, this thing's pretty quick. By pretty quick, I mean like 10 times faster than the Harley ever thought about being in its wildest dreams. The cool thing about this bike, though, is it's manageable. Like right now I have it in D mode 2, and I have it in TCS mode 2, and it's enough. It's enough to feel it. Like if I'm just going to casually ride this to work. In fact, I'm going to tomorrow because I'm going to go get it inspected. But it's enough to where I know, like, hey, the front wheel's not going to flap at 12 o'clock on it, right? And in the twisties, which I did yesterday, went up to a mountain that's local to us, rode it around, and it actually saved my ass already. I was used to throwing around the Harley, and so it took maybe like a week or two to get comfortable on bikes again, riding fairly consistently, like a couple hours a day, like 1 to 2 hours a day realistically. But I got comfortable on this one, and the tires on this are sticky as hell. So I realized that up in the mountains, and so I started really digging into the turns. And there's one turn I came up on that was super familiar to me, and so I dug in really deep, and I slipped about an inch, and I put that clip here. Ooh, whoops, I put it in. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I'm good. And the bike, I'm not sure 100% how the IMU works. From what I know, it works in conjunction with, like, obviously your traction control. This bike has slide control and lift control, but the TCS and the slide control and the ABS to take over what your hand is doing and tell the bike, don't fall, and corrects everything, and like brakes, throttles, whatever it needs to do, and stands your ass back up, which is pretty cool. It's been one hell of a bike, and I've only had it for, this is day 3. And surprisingly, pretty good on insurance. Now, granted, I'm older than 25, and I have a clean driving record so far. But given where I live, if you're from here, you're going to know exactly where I'm at. But given where I live, insurance rates are pretty damn high. And I got a really good rate for what this is, being a brand new bike for full coverage, which is super sweet. Beautiful home. Honestly, all of these are absolutely stunning. But anyway, beautiful bike, amazing bike. But let's talk a little bit more about the channel. So earlier I mentioned, I'll talk about whatever and kind of use it as like a verbal journal. I kind of want to take this opportunity to talk about something that I've come to realize over the past 3 years that's super important, and a lot of people, I feel like lately, especially given the way the world is, given the way people in general are, is not giving up. And I know that sounds corny as hell. It sounds super lame, and like, don't give up. But honestly, I'm guilty of giving up a few times and then starting back again, then giving up and starting back. But honestly, I'm guilty of stopping and giving up, and I regret the times that I did. I've been in a few situations where, I guess, eras of my life, if you will, where things were pretty bleak. It's not really any other way to put it. Things were really, really, really rough. I'm not gonna say it wasn't partially my fault, because usually the truth lies somewhere in the middle, right? What happened, what you're going through. A lot of times it's just a really, really hard-ass lesson for us to learn. And I just kind of want to say that if you are struggling with something, whether it be whatever it is, addiction or relationships or your job or who you are as a person, like maybe you just don't like who you are. You, I don't know, got with a friend group and kind of changed for the worse, or whatever you want to call it, whatever your situation may be, and you're feeling bleak and like, oh man, I've dug this hole and I've dug it too deep and now I can't reach the top. You can. You can. One of the things that I've learned in the last couple of years is to have some patience with yourself. I am extremely guilty of being impatient with myself. I tend to have a good amount of patience with others, probably because I'm so starved for patience with my own head and my own self. But I'm extremely impatient with myself. I feel like I need to be great at whatever I'm doing instantly. Work especially. It's kind of a double-edged sword. At work, I work my butt off, and I've come a long way with my day job. I've come a long way because I stress about not being perfect, which is an incredibly, incredibly unhealthy way to go about anything, truthfully. I'm going to cut left here because I don't want to go to downtown. Recently, I know I talked about my bike and didn't think it would work out and stuff, but really, I genuinely thought I was never going to own this bike. I thought I was going to have to settle for something really cheap, something that was probably really broken, something that needed another $1,000 of work, but at least I had a bike in the garage, you know what I mean? I didn't think I was ever going to be able to say, holy crap, this bike is mine. But here I am riding it and talking to y'all. So just keep trying. Because eventually you're gonna break through. You will break through whatever you're trying to do. You will end up being able to do whatever you're trying to do, whether it's work or a relationship or fighting for something or working towards a goal. You're in college, whatever it is. Because one day you can look back, and even if your journey ends up in a completely different spot than you wanted it to, or you thought you were going, you can still look at the entire length from start to finish and go, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because I'm proud of me for never stopping and continuing on to get to where I am today. So, yeah. But enough of that. I'm not trying to be sappy, and not every video is going to be like that, by the way. Just every once in a while, if I got something on my brain, something I want to talk about, that's kind of the format we'll do. I'm sure I'll change it over time, but this is what we're doing for now. And I'm open to suggestions too. Obviously, I got ideas for maintenance on this guy. I got ideas on maintenance for this little thing, which that doesn't, I thought it wasn't creased, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks a little creased. So we'll see if we can get it out. Might have to get a new tank. We'll see. Not a huge deal, because guess what? This tank still holds the same amount of gas. And I can deal with a ding for $6,500 off. And I got some buddies of mine that work at a body shop, so I'm gonna take it off at some point if I can stop riding it for a day, and go get them to see if they can get that ding out. Yeah, yeah, I got ideas for maintenance, tire reviews, equipment reviews, funny trips. I'm really hoping I can get this thing titled. Well, the title part doesn't matter. If I give the DMV my title to make it a Georgia DMV, they will give me a tag and return. So if I can get this thing tagged and registered, woo, man, this thing's nimble. Holy crap. If I get this thing titled and registered, this bad boy is coming with me, my brother, and one of our other buddies, and we're going to Gatlinburg for the Slammed Enough. And that is gonna be a blast. I'm gonna freeze my butt off, but it's gonna be fun. And that's in 2 weeks, so I think I can do it. As long as this inspection tomorrow goes over fine, I think it'll be fine. I think I can get it done. Yes, we're still recording. Cool. Also, I'm using the my setup camera and all that is a DJI Action 4, and my microphone is a wireless DJI Mic Mini, and I have it mounted inside my helmet, which is pretty cool. I know that the other mic, the wired mic, probably sounds a little bit better because it's hardwired in, but you have more like room to adjust it, and it's probably 32-bit audio, but this is hella convenient. Like when I was standing down there at the river talking earlier, I could just pop it off and clip it on my shirt, and that way you're not hearing me going the whole time in the mic. I can walk around and talk and point and laugh and everything else. So, alrighty. So, that's pretty much it for today. It's getting dark. I got the wrong filters on my camera. So if you like the channel, want to see more, awesome. Like, subscribe, do all that corny shit. If you don't, just pop it in, cool too. But yeah, I'm gonna try to post once a week, keep it simple, do fun stuff, take some trips, and yeah, so it'll be fun to have you guys around. Peace.